Kick it off. It's your boy Drew.
And your boy Justin.
And it's the Bald Head Dread Show. That's what we doing, man. So first off, we want to thank all our sponsors out there. MeTime Studio, any local artists in the Jackson metro area want to get recorded, mixed, and mastered. MeTime Studios, man. Hit them up, man. Also, Rock and Roll Auto LLC. And you know what I'm saying? You're looking for a dependable ride. Hit them folks up, man. 769-798-2605, man. Get your dependable ride.
Most definitely, most definitely. If you're looking for any type of training, personal training, make sure you look up Fueled by Plants online. And yeah, we're gonna get this thing started on off, man.
Let's get it then.
Right,
so, man, first off, we want to kick it off, man. First, we want to say thank you, first and foremost.
No problem, no problem.
It's a pleasure. It's a big
problem.
Most definitely.
You know, this guy I'm sitting beside right now, man, is he self-published. So any of you kids out there, man, if y'all think y'all can't do it, this is a living testimony that you can do it. Self-published, wrote the book, did it all himself, man. So that says a lot within itself. So we just gonna get right into it, man. Self-made author, none other than the boy DC, Popcorn. You know what I'm saying? David Collins here with us live in Jackson, Mississippi. So, man, just let the people know, man. We just want to start off first and foremost. Where are you from?
I'm originally from the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
BX, New York. And let me tell you something about the Bronx. You got the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens. You got all the 5 boroughs and everything like that. The Bronx is a special place within inside itself. I mean, when we were growing up, the Bronx was looking like a war zone.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you know, we didn't know the difference between walking down in these buildings was crumbled and we had to jump over the fences to get to school and all that. Then the next block was a regular block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is pretty, you know, different now. But, you know, that's when hip hop first came out. You know, I can remember when Cool DJ Hurt was playing in the park and you know, we were going in the park and as a little shorty standing behind the lines.
You actually witnessed that.
Yeah. I mean, I was part of that. You know, when I say it was part of that, you know, that was one of them little kids that we was all little kids back then. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This was something new because no one else knew what the fuck we were doing. Excuse me, I don't know if
you good.
No one else knew what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? This was just the Bronx expressing itself.
Yeah.
And you know, then Harlem got a wind of it, Brooklyn got a wind of it, people coming from visiting from out of town and all kind of shit like that got a wind of it. That's how hip hop you know, evolves, you know, from there. You know, that pretty much shaped me to be who I am.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Word, okay. Also, before we move forward, definitely want to give a big shout out to Freedom Corner Brand. Y'all know what it is, man. That's another sponsor, man. We got to look out for our sponsor, man. We love what we do. Now, moving right along, man, I had a chance to actually go to Harlem as well as South Bronx.
Yeah.
More of a gentrified Harlem and South Bronx, but I like to say I walk the streets of Harlem and South Bronx, so I feel like I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm solidified.
Yeah. Walking down the streets of Harlem. Let me tell you something. Harlem itself is a special place because, like I said, the Bronx, where we live, we was always a part of the culture.
Yeah.
But Harlem was something special, you know what I'm saying? When we went to Harlem, it was like, when you get to Harlem, you know, you got to put your, you know, you got to put your joints on. You got to put you get your new sneakers and your Lees and your Martneck, you know, your little gold chain and all, because Harlem is where you shined at.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, that's mainly what, growing up, that's what I remember about Harlem.
Word, okay. Now, we're going to get right into it, man. Everybody, can you see that? Bam, bam, bam. No more Harlem, man. So, pretty much with this book, let the people know, like, what is the book mainly about?
When you look at this book right here, this is No More Harlem. and real quick before I get into it, and this is probably for a lot of the shorties that's out there also. I never, kid coming from the Bronx, I never knew that I'd be able to write a book.
Yeah.
You know, just straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've learned and I was able to adapt and I was able to adjust to my neighborhood. But it took me almost 20 years after I wrote this book. I wrote 3 books, so I got another book coming out in July. It took me almost 20 years to actually publish this book. And the reason why is because I didn't believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I always, you know, I depended on whether it was a relationship with females, a relationship with family, and every time someone said, you know, because I wrote it. I didn't type it or nothing like that. I wrote it and I was like, hey, take a look at this. And they was like, oh, yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so it discouraged me within the inside. And when I finally decided to, you know, after 20 years, and I finally decided, you know, COVID came and I got locked in the basement and you know, the whole world was outside and it was just me. I realized I could read this shit into the computer. And the computer could print it out into book form. And after that, you know, it was like, all I had to do was get it proofread and edited, and I was done. And I was like, after all this fucking time, 20 fucking years, it was that easy for me. You know what I'm saying? But when you take a look at the book is about one of the most ruthless drug dealers coming out of Harlem. Clarence Heatley, the preacher. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this, when I say the ruthless, he wasn't just robbing, and he was robbing drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, the situations and everything that's in the book, you know, he wasn't just robbing drug dealers, he was killing them too. You know what I'm saying? He was killing people, and he was paying, he was going to their mothers and paying for their funerals. I mean, he was one of the most manipulative people you could have ever imagined meeting. You know, because he came across as a real nice guy.
Yeah.
And he would kill you and pay and go to your mother's house and pay for your funeral.
Cold-blooded stuff, man.
Now, if that ain't crazy, I don't know what is.
You know, and you know, you know, the members, and I wasn't actually a member.
Okay.
My aunt actually started fucking with this dude. And that's how I got close to him, because he became, her house became his headquarters. And so, as for me being in my aunt's house, I got a chance to break bread with the crew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when they had a situation, they would go in the room and talk about it. I couldn't go in the room because I wasn't really part of it. Obviously, when they came out, one of them like, yo, nigga, we get ready to go take care of some business and all this and all that. But I wasn't really a member of the crew. And but I had my own little crew, and we was hustling.
Right.
And this dude put me in the bag one time. Not when I say a bag, you know, he literally put people in bags. Yeah. But what happened was, you know, I had my own crew. I had my own connect. We was getting money out of town. You know, we were living okay. You know what I'm saying? But I was just affiliated with this guy. This guy came to me one time and was like, "Yo, man, I got this coke. Knock this shit off for me." I was like, "All right, no problem. I'll knock it off." And this is something, especially for anybody that's out there that's trying to get money that's in the street. You know what I'm saying? Took this coke, took it out of town. The outside was all right. The inside was garbage. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out of town.
Yeah. I
did the best I could. We knocked it off. Came back, and I think I gave him $15,000. Right? And nigga pulled me in the room, closed the door, like 6 other dudes. Everybody pulled out guns, put it to my head, and said, "What the fuck is this?" I said, "What do you mean, what the fuck is this? I'm paying you your shit. I didn't tell you how much you had to pay me. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you giving me this for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And from that point on, he forced me to sell his shit.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? He forced me to sell his shit, and then after that, it was like he was a nice guy again. You know, hey, what are you doing today? You want to come to the party? The motherfucker, no, I don't want to come to the party. You know, but I couldn't change my ways and actions around these dudes. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so that's how life was being around this guy, and so
to kind of lead me into another question. So around what time was all this going on? Like, how old were you?
The late 80s. I'm talking about, when I said the late 80s, I'm talking about 87, the early 90s, you know, up to at least 95, 96. 96 is when I actually caught my bid. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, and so you know, this guy, again, he came across as one of the nicest guys. You know, but if you broke a rule and you was part of his organization, you know, you had to pay you had to take whatever consequences it was, so, whether it was death, and some of them received death,
really just
or lashes.
Really answer my next question, because I was, you know, reading up on a couple of things, and it was saying that if you did something against the family, snitched or whatever it was, you got dealt with. You got put in the bag. And he had to let you know that I'm still running this, and he had the janitors to come and, you know, clean up everything.
The
cold-blooded
janitors. One of them was probably one of the worst people I ever met, and I met some characters. Trust me, I met some characters.
I believe.
But it was an incident one time with his son, Shaka. There's some stupid shit. I think he got caught with a gun or some shit like that, and he said it was preachers. You know, he kept it quiet though, and finally they found out, because there was a member of the crew that was a cop.
Yeah, it was the right hand man.
Yeah, it was the right hand man. He was Jack.
Yeah.
He didn't keep his job that long. You know what I'm saying? He was a stick-up kid. Lived in the projects. Lived in the area.
Yeah.
Never got in trouble, and his mother made him take the test, and he passed the fucking police test, and they get him, and they gave him a motherfucking police car to drive around, and he was driving these motherfuckers around robbing motherfuckers. You know, so he didn't keep the job that long. You know, but with Shaka, they found out that what he did, and they were getting ready to kill him. They were getting ready to his son. They were getting ready to kill him, but you know, they had a vote, and that's how they you know, they would come into the room, and there would be maybe 8 to 10 guys, and you know, they would say, all those who want to see him get killed, say aye, and all those who say no, say no. And so, fortunately for him, you know, everyone liked him, and everyone said no, but he still caught a beat down. He caught a vicious beat down too. You know, they had to take his shirt off, get up on the wall, and I think this one that they just beat him with belts.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy, man.
So let me ask you this. So I know you just mentioned that you weren't like officially a part of the preacher crew. So how many members was it officially in that crew?
Anytime, could have been anywhere between 25 to 50 members.
That many?
Yeah. And it wasn't a gang. You know, back then we didn't have, it was a crew.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you could call that a gang nowadays, but you know, that's how they, you know, that's how they express themselves as a crew.
Gotcha.
So with the crew, man, with everything that's happened, are you still in touch with some of those guys now?
Yeah. some of the ones that are out of jail, we ran into each other. Things is different now. We're getting older now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of them believe into the same shit, want to still hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we all got families and shit. I cherish mine.
No doubt.
My aunt. She's a beautiful lady. I see her every time we're up there, and she's out of the mix also. She's doing real good. She's doing a lot of positive shit with her life now. She's helping a lot of women who's been incarcerated for the wrong reason, or been incarcerated, and she's helping a lot of women fight to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? But then we got some of them other guys that they still believe that they can go out there on 8th Avenue and make a bag of money. And they're still doing their time. Recently, right after I wrote the book, I got a chance to have a conversation with the cop.
The lieutenant, the right-hand man.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
And he was just wishing me good luck on the book and everything like that. Obviously, he was concerned about what was in there about him. But he's a stand-up dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was the motherfucking dude that was supposed to have been the captain that was fucked up preaching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when he got locked up, he didn't even make it out the fucking police car before he started telling.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he was the snitch.
Man.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
So that makes sense, because I was reading when he was telling Shaka to
Save yourself.
Yeah, save yourself.
Save yourself. Well, before we get that far, let me tell you the reason why I went to jail is, you remember the movie Paid in Full?
Man, that's one of my favorite movies. Top
Okay.
5. Top 5.
Remember the uncle that kidnapped the nephew?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His real name is Apple Porter. That's Rich Porter's uncle.
Right.
And when I say Rich Porter, this is a dude. This was Harlem. This guy right here. This was, he was the young, flashy guy. Everybody loved this guy. He was making all the money and everything like that. He was a real good dude. We grew up together. I remember times when I was in junior high school and I learned how to make hash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a white boy showed me how to do it. And, he wound up coming from Harlem, coming down to the school, and I showed him. This before anybody got any real money. But he took that right there and really made money out of it. I was dibbling and dabbling out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he went to a different level. We was all getting money, but he went to a different level. So let's say he was getting $5,000, I was getting $10,000. They're getting $50,000 a night.
Yeah.
This when crack first came out. The reason why all these young dudes that was out there was riding around in flashy cars and all kind of shit like that is because we had like an 10-month run, because the police didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Damn.
They didn't know what the fuck crack was.
So they didn't catch on right away.
No,
so
not
y'all
away.
was basically just getting away with.
So you can imagine,
everything.
here it is, you got a bunch of kids selling drugs
Yeah.
and got a free pass for 10 months.
It's crazy.
Really all you needed was a month to have this money, but
Right.
it
came fast.
because the police, I remember one time they locked me up, I had my shit in a Skittle box.
Yeah.
Police threw me up against the wall, grabbed my box, looked in it, seen the motherfucking crack, threw the fucking bag threw the box on the floor, and told me to get the fuck out the building.
Damn.
So I went back and got my motherfucking shit.
He kept it rolling.
No doubt.
But so Apple was one of Preacher's guys, and I'm out of town with my crew. Got nothing to do with these guys. I deliberately not brought my guys around them, and I'm glad I did. I would I just deliberately didn't bring them around these guys. You know what I'm saying? My guys wasn't built for these guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my daughter was at my aunt's house, you know, watching her son. And everybody was going, and my daughter was up there watching the son. And this motherfucker come in there and put his hands on my daughter. So he tried to rape her. And I come back from out of town, I find out. So I go up to the house with my joint. They know I'm coming. So as soon as I get to the house, they let me in, take my joint from me, take me in the room. Now we sitting at a table, we got a long table in the living room, and there's like 6, 7 guys in there, everybody's sitting at there, you know. And it's like, yo, so what the fuck you come up here with this guy? I said, yo, this nigga put his hands on my daughter.
Yeah.
It's like, so what you trying to do? This nigga standing right here. I said, I want to kill this motherfucker. They voted. All those that want to let popcorn kill apples say yeah. Nobody said yeah. All those who want popcorn to leave this shit alone say no. Everyone said no.
So you had to be down with it.
Next thing I know, guns to my head, guns in my mouth, and they telling me that and the crazy shit is my wife is in the door's closed. My wife is, we just had my youngest daughter. My wife is in the next room, laughing and joking with my aunt. Here it is, I got guns in my mouth, and they threaten not just kill me, they're gonna kill everybody. You know, and you know, they made me promise to leave this shit alone. If we go to the police, you know, they're gonna kill me, they're gonna kill everybody, and all kind of shit like that. And you know, I took these dudes for their word. You know what I'm saying? Knowing them, I took them for their word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I left it alone. A couple of days later, one of the guys that's actually in the crew wanted me to take him, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, wanted me to take him to Harlem to go get a bag of smoke. We had this shit called Hardest Heart back then. So he wanted, so we going down and get ready to get in my car. I had the Pew Juice station wagon back then. And this nigga Apple sees us, come run and jumps in my car.
Yeah.
Jumps in the front seat. So I said, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? This is about 3-4 days after all this shit right here. So we riding to Harlem. This nigga got his feet up on the dashboard, lean back and all this and all that. And we stopped at a stop sign, and the Catholic school was letting out. And young girls was wearing skirts. I mean, girls 10, 11 years old walking down the street, coming out of school. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And this nigga's leaning back, and he's like, look at this little bitch. I'll break this bitch. So I'm looking, I'm at the door. I mean, that shit just hit me like a fucking bomb. I looked in the mirror, I looked at Pop. Pop is like, because Pop is actually down with them, but he's just my man.
Yeah.
Right.
But I had my aunt's little 22 sitting in the car. So I'm like, man, fuck this. I grabbed 22, I hit that nigga. Bow! When I hit him, everybody's running. But the school crossing guard is looking dead at me. I ain't paying attention to her. I see it, but I ain't really paying attention to it. I go past the stop sign and I hit this nigga again. Bow! When I hit the nigga in the back, this nigga opens up the door and jumps out the car. So I stopped the car for about 2-3 car lifts. I'm getting ready to go hit him again. But the school crossing guard jumps on top of him like, yo, please don't do it. It ain't worth it. No. So I jump back in the car. And I can remember, I said, all right, fuck it. I know these niggas told me. So I went straight to the motherfucking cop, Jack. You know, he was at my aunt's house.
Yeah. But before you go to that, I want to ask you, like, right there in that moment when you did that, like, what was going through your head? Like, 'cause we always hear stories and see movies and things like that happen. Like, this is your real life. So what was going through your mind right there in that moment, like, when you did that? Like,
fuck this nigga.
That's real.
Yeah, that. I mean, when he looked at this little girl and said exactly what he just did to me, I mean, he disrespected me. Like, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I mean, I'm taking him. Y'all can take me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was my mindset right then and there. So I went right back to the house. Jack was up in the house, And so I went to Jack. I said, yo, Jack is a cop. He was the cop. I said, yo, check this out. I just killed your man. He's like, what? So I told him what happened. And he was like, get the fuck out. And while I'm telling him, Rich Porter's sister calls. That's Apple's niece. She calls Jack, and she's like, yo, Popcorn just shot Apple. And so I'm standing right there, you know, he on the phone. He's like, what do you mean just shot him? He's like, yo, I'm at the hospital. He says, how you doing? He's like, he's okay. He's going to make it. But, you know, he's like, where the police at? The police didn't come. He said, don't tell the police nothing. We'll take care of this. So I'm standing there, I'm listening to this. I'm thinking to myself, all right, you know, I know. I said, listen, man, my family ain't got nothing to do with this. It was me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Do what the fuck you got to do. So he looked at me kind of crazy. I said, yo, but can I write my family a letter, let them know I love them? I swear to God, that's what I said. And so he just laughed, just like you laughed. He said, Popcorn, man, just go lay low, man, you know. And so that's how that situation happened right there.
Yo, man, that's crazy. Like, trying to wrap my mind around that. So I did want to ask you this question, because you did bring up the Paid in Full movie. So you was around in that time. Now, for me watching that movie and being a fan of that movie, that's like having a big cultural impact, right, in the street life or whatever. So, in your opinion, from your standpoint, how much of that movie was actually true from what you know?
It was, I mean, obviously, because it's a movie, a lot of the shit has to be changed. And,
right.
It was pretty much, you know, I would say pretty much 80% true. Wow. You know what I'm saying? What a lot of people don't know is it was even us. I didn't know until we got locked up. That preacher was behind the one that kidnapped the little boy, Darnell.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even preacher, it was Apple.
Right.
The same motherfucker got shot in the head.
Yeah.
Kidnapped his own fucking nephew.
Crazy.
For this dude.
Yeah.
You know, trying to kidnap his other nephew, the bigger brother, Rich Porter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they kidnapped the nephew. He kidnapped his nephew, brought him to the house, and then you got this dude named Malik. Now, Malik is the guy that I told you, he was sicker than preacher. He was the janitor. He was the soldier. He was just a crazy character. And so when they took the little boy up there, from what I understand, Malik cut the little boy's finger off. But Rich brought his brother a ring. And he cut the finger off with the ring on it, and they put it in the bag and sent that shit down to McDonald's. And that's how they sent, you know, the phone calls and all that type of shit. And you know, that's how the shit got started. But when Alpo wound up killing Rich, that left the little boy alone. You know, there was no reason to hold him no more. But then, you know, when you think about it, they was never gonna let this kid go anyway because the uncle kidnapped him.
Right.
You know, he know who took him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they was gonna never let this kid go anyway. So they wound up killing the kid too.
So what was the big motive behind that? You know,
Extorting Rich. Extorting Rich. You know, and Apple came to them with the but again, like I said, when it came down to you know, Apple was the one that actually set up the kidnapping and all this and all that. Preacher, he benefited from it, so he's like, fuck it, you know, this is what we're gonna do. None of us, well, at least not me, because I'm not part of them. I never found out about this until after we got locked up. After we got locked up, all of that motherfucking information came out.
Right.
You know, but, you know, while we was locked up, You know, for some of the people, it was a rough bit because we was in the feds. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you had to show your paperwork to tell if you were snitching or not. You know what I'm saying? You know, as soon as you come in through the fucking gate, you know, and you know, so I was living pretty good. I was in one of the worst prisons, Terre Haute. Terre Haute, Indiana. Remember when they killed Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma bomber? Yeah. I was in there when they did that.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? That prison right there, and you know, probably one of the worst prisons. That's when I got introduced to not just the Blood, the Crips, but the Vice Lords, GDs. Yeah. I realized that these was not the ones to fuck with. you know, for real. You know, because they organized.
Right.
You know, and one of these guys came in. Here's how I started writing the book. One of these guys came in, and they called me. They're like, "Yo, Popcorn, you know, your man is here." I said, "My man," you know. So when I came in the cell. Here go this nigga. I don't even know who the fuck he is, but he had everyone's paperwork. You know, he had like 5, 6, 7 dudes paperwork. So I was like, yo, how the fuck you get this? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? So I took the paperwork, and after I took the paperwork, I started reading through it. That's when I started understanding everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? With that paperwork, you know, it just tells you everything that's going on. You know, like everything that you did, everything he said, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I had all this paperwork, and I'm sitting there. We're already in prison, and so I just started writing, and so I took it to my man one time. I wrote about 3-4 paragraphs, and I was like, yo, he's like, yo, this shit is crazy. And that pumped me up.
That made you want to continue.
I'll be right back. I'm going back, write more shit. And you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you know, I put the whole novel together. You know.
Wow, man.
And like I said, I actually got 3 books. I got another book getting ready to come out in the end of July. And that you know, the guys that was in there inspired me to keep doing it. And so that's how that thing became the book.
I mean, since we on the book, man, No More Harlem, y'all go check it out, man. It's everywhere. Amazon, you can get it, man. Any and everywhere you can get this book, man.
Go on Amazon and put in No More Harlem, and it'll pop right up. Right now, 5 stars. You can see the reviews. The reviews is crazy.
That book.
And hopefully a movie producer's looking at it. I'm behind the scenes talking to them too. But
what's up, man?
You know, this is Netflix joint right here, for real.
And this is the first official interview he's done. So this is big, man. This is big. So speaking on the book, No More Harlem, man, I was reading some of the things. I was reading some of the reviews as well. I saw something in there where it was saying that the Preacher Crew actually kidnapped Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Is this true?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, the funny shit about that is there wasn't no beef with him. You know, it was one of them nights where, you know, here it is, we live in New York. Everyone decided to go out to Jersey, to Atlantic City, pop bottles, drink, and all kind of shit like that. And some dudes at the end of the night, some dudes from Jersey was out there.
Yeah.
So we all sitting at the table, and one of the dudes everyone's telling war stories. You know, this shit, that shit. The dude from Jersey was like, yo, when we see this motherfucker Bobby Brown, we gonna kill him. So a man was like, yo, why you gonna do that? He said, because he borrowed a kid coke from us about 3 months ago, and he's ducking us. Now him and Whitney, Bobby and Whitney had a house in Jersey. But meanwhile, we live in the city. And you remember that motherfucking club, the New Yorker, where Puffy and J-Lo had that shootout with Shine and all that shit?
Yeah.
This nigga in the club every night. So we know where the fuck he at.
Yeah.
So my man says, yo, how much he owes you? Dude was like $25,000. He said, I'll tell you what. Let me buy that beat from you. I'm going to give you $10,000 right now. It's no longer your problem. It's my problem. You ain't got nothing to do with that. This motherfucker was like, yeah. So we gave the nigga $10,000. We went back to the city, and we got a girl in Harlem, probably one of the baddest bitches that you can find. You know, she's a Harlem chick. We got her dressed up, sent her down to the club. First night, this nigga ain't say nothing to her. The next time we went down there, this nigga was all on her. And so she was like, yo, I can't hear you. You know, let's go outside. We had a van outside up the street. And she walked the nigga right to the van. It was really, really easy. This nigga, he walked right.
He walked straight into it.
And we opened up the door, grabbed that motherfucker, pulled him in. Now here's the funny shit. They brought him back to the Bronx.
Yeah.
Brought him into the building, and had him in one of the apartments. Again, preacher. He took everything he wanted. You know what I'm saying? If you was a drug dealer and you came down with that 560 Benz and all this and all that, he took it from you. If he wanted. Who the fuck you gonna tell?
Right. You can't do nothing.
You know what I'm saying? This apartment, every time an apartment got empty, he took that apartment from the owner of the building. So he had about 4 or 5 apartments. You know, just about everybody was getting apartments in there. And they took Bobby into one of the apartments, and Malik stripped him, butt naked, and hogtied him.
Man.
Was a weird dude from Virginia. He was he had military background. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, who the fuck? They was like, this is Bobby Brown. This is the singer. He's like, yo, sing the fucking song. You know, this nigga hogtied, butt naked. He's like, sing the song. This nigga, I don't want to sing. He said, no, sing the fucking song. This nigga like, he kicked him on the floor, grabbed this nigga by his dick, and started burning the hair on his nuts.
Oh shit.
This the guy. and so, but you know, when they had him for a couple of days, and eventually they got on the phone and talked to Whitney and told her, you know, this shit is serious. You know, don't go telling nobody and all this. You come here and get this. She had just made the movie The Bodyguard. And she came to the fucking Bronx by herself in a cab with a big ass pair of glasses and a wig with $400,000 in the bag to come get that motherfucker. So I don't care what the fuck she was doing, smoking, sniffing crack, or whatever the fuck she was doing. She came to get that motherfucker.
Damn.
Because I don't know how she walked into the she walked up into the apartment, threw the fucking money on the floor, and said, "Where the fuck is Bobby?"
Damn.
And here it is. You know, you got gangsters sitting there with guns in their hands. You know what I'm saying? Threw the money on the floor, went in the room, untied this motherfucker. Like, where the fuck is clothes at? And come on, this nigga crying and shit. You know. But
I guess it wasn't his prerogative, huh?
Yeah. But she was gangster.
That's crazy. She didn't have no type of like fear in her. She went straight in there.
Yeah, she came to get that motherfucker.
Yeah.
She loved that dude.
Loved him.
She loved that dude.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, that is crazy, man.
It's wild. It had to be something wild to like actually like see right there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so when you look at Malik, you know, Malik was the type of dude. He was a janitor. So we had a spot on 8th Avenue. This is in Harlem. And this is summer night, one night. Anytime we see Malik, only time he came out was when he was killing motherfuckers. So, you know, he had a jet black, he had a car. I don't know, this nigga spray painted it. The windows was black, the car was black, the tires was black. And every time we see this nigga, you know, we know he getting ready to go kill somebody.
That's crazy.
Damn.
And so, me and my man, the same guy I was telling you, Pop, we on the block. You know, it's about 10 o'clock at night. Harlem is packed. Everybody's out. nice summer night. We see this motherfucker come driving down the street. So we like, yo, there go that Malik. You know, 5 minutes later, you can hear the gunshots about 10 blocks down. Bow, 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 bow. You know, so, you know, we roll up there to go see what the work looked like. And, yeah, he laid the motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? The crazy shit was it was in front of the police station. Well, it was the project building is here, the corner store is here, and the police station is on the other side of the project. And this nigga, the police was chasing him.
Yeah.
This nigga drove through a one-way, you know, cars supposed to be coming this way. This nigga drove down, and got away. You know, but it got to a point to where Jack and Malik didn't like each other. Jack hated Malik. Malik hated Jack because Malik always wanted Preacher's, you know, he always wanted Preacher attention more than anybody else. And Preacher used that.
Yeah.
Because Malik knew too much about Preacher. Preacher went down south and brought up a bunch of land. And he was starting a lot of shit down south. He started a company, but he didn't tell everybody back in New York what the fuck he was doing. You know what I'm saying? But Malik knew what he was doing. And so he was afraid that Malik knew too much. So he used Jack. You know, he told Jack, yo, you know that motherfucker said, you know, we need to kill you. Jack was like, yo, fuck that, we gotta kill that nigga. And Preacher was like, all right, fuck it, you gotta do what you gotta do. They called him.
Yeah.
And said, yo, you need to come to New York. This nigga come to New York because he happy, gun-ho happy. He think he can really kill somebody. So he get down there, they like, come on, we got some guns we want to show you. They take him down to the basement. As soon as he got down to the basement, Jack hit him in the head. Bow! Damn. Killed him. And then they chopped him up.
Damn.
So this is how the case got started. Their case got started. I wasn't there, so I didn't know about them killing him, and I found all this out later on. They chopped him up, and then they went and distributed his body in different places. And so one day, they asked me to drive them downtown. So I drove them downtown, so come on man, let's go on the roof. So fuck it, I go on the roof with them. They going into the incinerator, pulling out shit, and they pulled a bag out. And one of the dudes on the roof was a guy that lived in the building. He was down with Jack. I didn't know this dude.
Yeah.
But they threw the bag on the floor and they started playing with it, kicking it. It was Malik's head.
No.
Soccer with the man.
They was playing soccer with the man's head. And I'm not just telling you that,
crazy.
you know, this is documented. I mean, you know, they talk about that shit on TV. And the head stopped in front of the dude. And the dude freaked out. You know, he couldn't go to sleep for like 4 or 5 days. The dude, girl, was telling them that he kept telling his girl, yo, Malik is saying, look what they did to me. Look what they did to me.
Man, they probably scarred him for life.
Yeah, and so they said he went down to the feds and told the feds everything was going on. So somehow, I don't know, Preacher and them knew about it or whatever, but they ran into the nigga coming out the Fed building. So the nigga ran and jumped in his car, but the feds is looking out the window. And this shit is documented on, like, if you watch the FBI files, if you watch Gangsters Most Evil, they talk about this situation right here too. The feds was looking out the window and seeing Preacher and them chasing this guy. So the dude jumped in his car and he's going down a one-way street. This is in Midtown. And Preacher and them are chasing him in a van. And so they called the police. Now you got to, like, police chasing these motherfuckers. They finally caught him. They caught, and they didn't find no weapons in the van. They had duct tape, wire straps and all kind of shit like that in the van. And so police locked them up, but they were able to get out and you know, fight that charge and shit like that. But that dude is the one that started the case.
Yeah.
You know, because he went to the feds. You know, and that shit was crazy.
So, with the book, man, what actually made you start writing the book? Like, what's the sole purpose of this book? What, me as a reader, what would you want me as a reader to get out of this book?
Once I got locked up, I didn't know. I knew these guys, but I didn't know what was going on. Besides what I seen, you know, some of the shit I seen, but I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know really what they were doing and everything like that until we got locked up.
Yeah.
Once we got locked up, all the shit, I mean, because we got locked up in 95, 94. They killed Darnell back in 90. No one knew about that until they got locked up. Once they got locked up, all of this information started coming out. And so these are secrets, like a lot of these secrets, not just with the preacher crew, I mean, not with just with this, but like, you know, some of the dudes that's in Harlem. Yeah. You know, some of the big shots in Harlem, how they was extorting them. You know, there was one guy in Harlem, it's in the book right there. Preacher felt that he was trying to get over on him. So not only did he kill him, but he let Malik fuck him. No, he killed him and then he had Malik fuck him.
After he killed him?
Yeah. Man. To send a message.
Crazy, man. To
send a message. And Malik was just a crazy dude, you know what I'm saying? He would do anything for him, you know? So what my thing was I was just mind blown, just like y'all is about hearing this shit when I was hearing about this shit. Yeah. You know, so I just started putting pen to paper, and like I said, I went to my man and was like, "Yo, check this out," and he's like, "Yo, that shit is good." I was like, "For real?" Yeah. I'll be right back. Yeah, how about this? He's like, "Yo, keep it going, keep it going." Yeah. And so that motivated me. That motivated me. And what I didn't realize was the talent that I had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so after I finished writing that, I wrote another one, which was completely different about, it had nothing to do about them. And it just got me to keep on writing, keep on writing, keep on writing. And my thing about writing was being able to take someone from the comfort of their own home and bring them into the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to make it picture perfect for them to see that. Yeah. You know, and I think I did a good job. Yeah. You know, I think I did a good job. You know, that's what people are telling me right now. So I will really find out one of these motherfucking producers call me.
They need to. Like, hit them up. Hit them up.
Yeah. You know?
Definitely. So, I mean, no doubt that your story is like you had a crazy story, crazy life, went through a whole lot. What's one of the craziest things you've seen just being out there, being involved in that lifestyle? Like, what's one of the craziest things you've seen? I know the viewers would definitely love to hear a story like that, like the craziest thing, you know what I mean? Just in their life, especially for someone who never even experienced that type of life.
It was one time I had no idea what was going on, and Jack, the cop, you know, here it is. I had at this time, I had a Lotus. And like I said, you know, you had a lot of these other, everyone at this time was making money. A lot of these guys was making a lot more money, you know what I'm saying? We was making our share. And I had a Lotus. I had a red Lotus, piped out in red and white. And I'm getting ready to go hang out with my crew. I had dropped something off at my aunt's house, and here they coming downstairs. They get ready to go take care of a problem. Yo, popcorn. Drive these niggas down here and follow us. I'm like, man, fuck it, get in the car. You know what I'm saying? Take these niggas downtown. Take these niggas to Queens. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Here it is. They got a problem with someone because somebody shot one of their guys. I don't even know these guys. But here it is. They just brought me down to show strength. You know, an extra person. At that time, I'm just an extra fucking body. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You know, we've been standing out there for about an hour. Here it is. I can get on the fucking, we still had them phone booths. Yeah. So I get on the phone booth, call this chick I was talking to, like, yo, check this out, yo. Just give me about an hour. I'll be, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so Malik, I didn't know at the time, seen the dudes about 3-4 blocks down. So he ran around. This dude's military. He ran around the corner, ran up about 2 or 3 blocks, came back down, and came back behind the guys. And so here it is. This is one of these big streets. The dudes here. I'm still on the phone. I really don't know. I found all this out afterwards. I'm on the phone and I'm talking, running my mouth and shit like this. These dudes are walking diagonally across the street, but they're walking towards me. From what I understand, they was getting ready to hit me. But Malik came and caught the dudes in the middle of the double yellow line. I'm standing there watching them. So now I can see Malik. I can see the dudes walking. I don't know these guys, but I can see Malik jogging up the street about a block away. And I see him. He runs up right behind the dude and says, "This is for Jack." Bow!
Oh shit!
In the middle of the line, and walked away. But I can see the smoke coming up the motherfucker's head. The nigga just stood there for a minute. And then fell. Damn. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say it was crazy, because from what I understand, they was getting ready to come hit me. Out of all the wild shit, here it is, I don't know these dudes, the dudes who they had problems. I didn't know who was who. I don't know nothing. Yeah. I'm on the phone telling some chick, give me about an hour, I'm coming.
Crazy.
So yeah, that probably, for me, that probably was the scariest thing ever.
Yeah, because you didn't know what was going on, basically. Yeah, it's crazy, man. No doubt.
So with you being in the streets back in the day, what's one thing you can kind of compare and contrast from today's streets, like for the youngins out there?
Nothing
at all.
And the reason why I say that is because the streets was wide open. The laws was different. Every fucking thing was different for us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We might have fucked everything up for them. You know what I'm saying? The laws was different. Back then, we had cars, money, and we could be in the streets and we ride up and down 8th Avenue all day and all night long. You know what I'm saying? Streets was packed. There's no trust in the streets and like that no more. There is no trust in the streets. There is no rules to the game no more. These young cats, they don't follow rules. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything is just out of whack right now. There's no respect for no one and right. Nothing like that. Not saying that, the niggas had too much respect because they were still killing motherfuckers back in the days, but, back then, I remember like if you watch Paid in Full, that club where everybody going to, that was called S&S. And we had the skating ring down on 55th. But SNS, I can remember SNS was just like a car show. You know, everybody, you know, from the little drug dealers to the big drug dealers was out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas who had Volkswagen Jettas to the motherfucker who had Porsches. Everybody was out there with shit shining and all that type of shit. Music playing. You know, everybody had money back then. You know,
Right.
I might have had $5,000 in my pocket, but he had $20,000 in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. I'm okay. I can buy my bottles.
Right. You good.
You know, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Today is different. First of all, ain't no hustling like it was back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I'm saying ain't no hustling, we had that run where, you know, it was like police didn't know what the fuck we were doing for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Until they really, really caught on. And then, you know, then we had to watch out.
Yeah.
But drugs were so plentiful. Like, you know, besides this crew right here, you know, I remember me and my man, one time, at this point, we had a Jeep Wrangler. We had the speakers and, you know, we had the box in the back that, you know, we had a custom box in the back with the music crazy and everything. And we went to go visit this chick. And so when you go in these buildings in the Bronx, you know, you got that side and that side, the elevator in the middle. So we was going up, the chick lived on the second floor. We getting ready to go in the building, and the Dominican dude called her. He's like, yo, can I talk to you guys for a minute? Come here. So he's like, yo, what's up? He's like, yo, you know, this is my spot. But the dude over there told me, you know, I can't sell no more. She's like, yo, so what the fuck you telling us for? He's like, yo, if you help me, I'll give you half of what I got. So he's like, what you got? This nigga opened up the closet, he had like 4 keys in the closet. You know what I'm saying? So my man was like, who the fuck is that dude you talking about? The Jamaican dude right over there. So my man went up, he's like, yo, check this out, you told my man he can't hustle and all that. He's like, yeah, he's like, yo, that's my shit. Yeah. Matter of fact, you get the fuck out of here and all this and all that.
Yeah.
You know, and nigga gave us 2 keys.
Damn.
And we became good friendship. I mean, this nigga broke bread with us, everything he was getting. I mean, half his shit he was giving it to us. It was that easy back then.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It was that easy back then.
Yeah.
You know, you'll never see that again nowadays.
It's most definitely, at times, it's definitely changed. Like, what's your opinion on how the culture has changed? Like, street culture is kind of wrapped into hip-hop culture. Then you got rappers talking about selling drugs, but you have this whole snitch culture has risen. So would you say snitching was big back then, or over the time more people started snitching as time went on?
Over the time, people started snitching. Back then, there was a street code.
Gotcha.
You know, keep your mouth shut. And for the most part of it, you know, growing up, you know, not until later on in age, I never really seen. PM Dawn was on stage, and they were rocking. We standing in the back, joint jam packed, and you know, from the corner of my eye, I could see a whole crew of niggas coming in. Must have been about 10, 20 dudes.
Yeah.
And it was BDP. So, boom, they walked right up to the stage. And PM Dawn and them was performing. This nigga went up there and grabbed the microphone.
Yeah.
While he was up there singing, rapping, whatever the fuck this dude was doing. And they went and grabbed the DJ and pulled this motherfucker out the booth.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yo, hold on, because the crowd started getting like, yo, what the fuck is going on? He's like, yo, check this out. This ain't for y'all, you know, this is something else. These dudes did an interview in the news, in the magazine, and disrespected us. And so that's what I mean by motherfuckers was getting checked.
Yeah.
He said they were disrespecting us. Threw them off the stage and threw them off the stage. Right? and was like, yo, everybody just stay there, give us a few minutes. And DJ went back there, he's like, yo, we taking over.
Right.
And next thing you know, Boogie Down Production will always get paid. We take the wackest song. I mean, and they just tore the whole shit down.
Yeah. Crazy.
you know, and so that right there kept reality a little bit for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, you got the cell phones, you got Facebook, and you got all that type of shit. Yeah. And, you know, you got niggas who weigh 70 pounds that want to be monsters.
Right.
You know, and they and you know the back then, even though there was guns, niggas fought. Mm-hmm. Niggas fought. You know what I'm saying? You know that you get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
Or you bust ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But now, niggas don't fight no more. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't even really argue no more. They just wanna bust their guns. And you know that ain't gangster. You know that ain't gangster. I mean, cause it's you know, it's just real sad. You know what I'm saying? I lost family. I remember I lost my cousin James. He died in my arms. Dang. You know, I got shot in the leg. Some dudes was trying to rob us for our coats. This is back in the 80s. And, you know, we was going to the weed spot. And he helped me out the building. We running up the block. We laughing. I got shot. You know, but we laughing. Dude hit him, got another lucky shot, hit James in the back. And he died in my arms, you know. So, yeah, the respect, I think the social media made a lot of dudes twisted. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're out of their character for real. Mm-hmm. You know, because if it wasn't for that social media, you know, when we had a problem with someone, we pulled up.
Right.
You know, we pulled up.
Now you have people on Instagram, Facebook trying to show guns and show off. Mm-hmm. What you saying back then, that wasn't even fly at all.
Mm-hmm. And you know, you don't see a lot of, we didn't take a lot of pictures back then.
Right.
Because of the shit that we were doing.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it was, you know, it wasn't.
Y'all weren't trying to show all that off.
Nah, he wasn't trying to, because we had stick-up kids out there for real.
Yeah.
You know, even though we doing what we doing and we thorough about doing what we doing, you still got stick-up kids that's out this motherfucker. And these niggas was robbing niggas. I mean, everyone was thorough on what they were doing. you know, so now people, they're good actors. You know, they get on there and they want to be gangsters and, so it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different world. So that's why if I ever get a platform, is to tell these young dudes, I'm still living my life. I'm still living good. I got cars, I got an RV, I got trucks, you know what I'm saying? I got a fucking house that's 3,900 square feet with a movie theater in the basement. You know, but I'm working though.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying? And so here it is, these niggas that go out there and think that they can sell weed or whatever fucking kind of drugs that's out there right now and make some money. You really ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
And the only place you finding yourself, because your man gonna tell on you.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Or if you get that lick, your man gonna rob you and kill you. You know, there's no loyalty right now.
And that's what's so amazing about your story and what you're saying here, because, you know, it's a lot of kids out there right now, especially in this new generation, thinking it's all glitz and glamour. They can go out there, do what they want, there's no consequences. But you're telling both sides. You said, yeah, I went to jail, yeah, I did this, I did that. It was consequences to it. So that's what really needs to be out there, because these kids really don't have no role models to look at and actually see from both sides, right?
You can live your life. You can live your life by doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You find the right people to be in your corner. You can have a lot more fun living your life, because you ain't got to worry about watching your back for this person, that person, or the police.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, going out there and you say getting a job is hard. Well, standing on a motherfucking block is even harder. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to watch for the fucking police. And you got to watch out for the stick-up kids. You know what I'm saying? And the results of a bad incident is really, really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? So the worst thing can happen if you got a job at Walmart is that you got to do overtime.
That's the worst thing you get. Yeah, and that's not
more money, man. That ain't
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love the money.
You got people complaining about that.
Show me the money.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yep. So,
man, we definitely, man, appreciate you coming through, man. You didn't have to do it, man, but we definitely do appreciate it. Once again, man, No More Harlem. Everybody go check this book out, man. Definitely get mine signed tonight. Definitely go get mine signed, man. It's everywhere, man. Go get that.
Yep.
And before we head out, man, is there any last words that you want to say? Anything that you want the people to know?
No, I just want to say that the response for me and this right now has been overwhelming. I want to thank everyone who supported me. You know, I got a following right now. And what it did was it made people believe in me. And so there may be just one kid that's out there that was in the same situation that I was in, who didn't believe in themselves. Because that's why it took 20 years for this to come out, because I didn't believe in myself. All I say is this: believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, whether it's writing a book, whether it's doing something, believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I kept letting other people tell me that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? I kept taking the shit and putting it down. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is believe in yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? That I would never let someone tell me that I can't do nothing again. And it took me 20 years to realize that. Hopefully it won't take you that long to do the same.
That's a word for you, man. One last thing before you go. Let the people know, how can they reach you, how can they get in contact with you, and also what's next for Popcorn, DC, David Collins.
Right now I am on social media. You know, I'm learning about how to do this. I self-published. I'm self-promoting. For so long, I've been going to promoters and they're like, yo, can you help me with this? Because I wrote it, they was like, I can't do that. But now they're banging on my door.
Yeah.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm on Facebook, No More Harlem, so that's how you can follow me through Facebook. I'm starting some of these other social medias. I'm really just getting up on some of this stuff. But you can look for me for the next book. I got a next book coming out in the end of July. It's actually getting book covered. My book cover is getting done and everything right now. It's called Splash. It's totally different from this, but for me, I believe it's better than that. This one right here was one that put me on the map.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm continuing to go through the map. I got another book getting ready to follow right behind that. You know, that other book that is it's a crazy story. It's It's about robbing banks. You know.
Okay.
But you know, so like I said, if you're looking for the book, go to Amazon, put in No More Harlem. It should pop right up. Before you buy it, look at the review. I'm 5 stars. I'm selling books in Canada. I got the prison system locked down right now. I got I've had book tours in Mississippi. I have book tours in Alabama. I have book tours in Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina. You know, we got New York is popping. Yeah. So you know, join the train. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So make sure y'all go check out the book No More Harlem. You can follow him on Facebook if you want to get in contact with him. No More Harlem on Facebook, right?
Yep.
And go get that off Amazon right now. Do yourself a favor.
Right now.
Dive into that book. It's an amazing story. Yeah, man. And support that book. Appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you.
Man, love, man.
Thank you.
Hey, got something for you, man. This is for you.
All right.
Yeah, man. Got you a little stogie, man. So hit that when you can, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Mississippi love, man. Hey, we out.
We'll check y'all next time.
Bald Head Dread Show, man. Y'all stay tuned.